Hello everybody, hope you're all having a fantastic day. For today's message, the title of this video is Twin Flames, Pure Presence, Expanded Awareness, Love Abounds. So I can begin by settling in, tune into your breath, breathe into your heart space, surrender externalities. Deepening presence means increased awareness. This is how awakening and expansion occurs, through peace. Heightened awareness through presence. Relaxation and peace, they are the tools of permanence and eternity. Sinking deeper into presence, the deeper the presence that you can travel to, the more heightened your presence, and the more sensitive you become to energy. This gets dulled down when you spend too much time in externality, and we must sharpen and hone the inner regularly. Excuse me. The more we do this, the better we can respond to what's returning to us, and what we put out. What returns to us is what we put out. You must be present with the energy that's being reflected back to you. Deepen and ground into that feeling, the fullness of your own presence. Breathe conscious awareness into any area of discomfort, surrendering into peace. Let it take over, it's yours. Peace has rules, and when you obey them, you have peace. If you break the rules of peace, everything you've attained won't be worth it. Peace is the innermost tenet of your being. Find it and you find yourself and the divine. The rules of peace are not there to limit you, but to direct your being to where it belongs. Respect peace and you'll have peace. Listen to and honour peace. It's a practice in presence. Anytime you have a moment of pause, dive into your peace and your presence, feeling your feelings, and you'll find that at the core there is only peace. And from this state of peace, presence and awareness, you can be effective in your life. Whenever you encounter a problem, go there first. And the more finely tuned and sensitive you become to your feelings and inner being, the more refined your life can become. So it can be a good idea at this time to really journal out your feelings, just to really get clear on them. This is ascension and purification. It's the difference between a soggy burger that's had no love put into it and the finest burger made by the bestest grill master. Now that's a burger. One is rubbish, the other is divine. There is a difference between unrefined and refined. An old banger and a Maserati. Which one would you rather be sitting in? Yet this is a temporary experience compared to the permanent experience of your inner being. Do you care first for your temporary home or your eternal home? The eternal remains with you after death. The physical home changes, but this one stays with you forever. The body changes, but the inner being remains unchanged by anyone but you. Different things happen in the eternal story, but the one experiencing the eternal story doesn't change. This happens if you become aware of your feelings, but if you experience the flow of life within you, life moves for you. If you try to prevent something that you don't want to experience, you're preventing life, and it doesn't really work. Yeah, it's okay to accept uncomfortable stuff that will inevitably come through. There's no need to try to avoid it. Just handle it. Most are afraid to live life. It takes courage and bravery. If you want the jolly thing, you must become attuned to your inner being. We identify the problem, and then we want to knock it out of the park. We don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater though, but we don't want to keep the dirty water either. Lay it out in totality, the vibration before you, pull the threads apart one by one, lay them out, find the not so good feeling, thread and do the mirror exercise. If you're slow, it can take years to heal just one upset. If you're fast, you can dance through the threads of this frequency, the fine and gross threads of the vibration, and purify them like lightning. The difference between the dance of effortlessness as one with life and the painfully slow way is presence. So I think that's a message for everyone. Certainly a good message for me. Be more present with oneself. If you're uncomfortable feeling your feelings, do it more and get really honest. When you identify a feeling that's not so good, go there and resolve it with the mirror exercise. It works with every upset, but only works when you identify the upset very clearly and love yourself there. And it changes your frequency. It changes you and your frequency. Love it and it melts into love, and so do you. Love is the highest ecstasy. It's a product of oneness with the divine, performing your function, being how you were created to be, at one with the divine. Face any fears, move through them, go there, and you must love there. Darkness is a lack of light. Sin is a lack of love. They have no unique properties of their own. This scarcity belief. The truth is always abundant. Presence is pure light. You know the difference between light and darkness, the fullness of the divine and the emptiness of the lack of it. Identify it within yourself, without judgment. Anywhere in your being where there's a lack of light, just bring your presence there. Whenever there's a need, fill it from the infinite well within yourself. It's not a fantasy exercise. It's not playing games for fun, although it is fun. There are very real and powerful consequences in your life because attuning to the source of life, aligning ourselves with a river of life which flows within us. That's what we want to be doing. Stay focused and you'll find it effortless. This is where the work is done, where the hard work is done, where you focus within. It takes fortitude and mental strength to remain in the grind within. This is the work. Make it primary. It's what brings results. It's so subtle. It's almost as if it doesn't exist, but it produces real results. Whenever there's a fear, you must go there. It's a call to love. And if you're experiencing it at your inner altar, you want to sanctify and purify. You are divine and holy, the very child of God. So wherever you bring your presence, love abounds. If there are errant thoughts, let them go and don't control or attach to them. Well, we decide where we go. Be strong of mind, be strong of focus, be strong of presence, be strong of will, be fiercely devoted to the divine will which provides faith. Surrendering to presence now means connecting to it when an errant thought arises. The errant thought will invite you to be carried away into delusion. You must take note and decide in the moment not to follow. As soon as you notice an errant thought, no matter how far you've been carried away on it, presence is just a thought away. It's the nature of delusion that no matter how much it's taken you into unawareness, you can always sink back into presence immediately. The quality of your life depends on the presence that you give yourself. A beautiful life is the result of a beautiful relationship with presence. Presence is now, presence is within. Well kept, protected, loved, respected, an abundant fountain of life that will pay dividends forever. Ceaselessly abundant forever. There's never any limits to the joy that it produces for you. And all deliverance into this is no more than a choice to be in presence. Be fiercely loyal to your inner being, to the peace within. This is what it means to be a honey badger of love. Be persistent. Take the time to be persistent within. Layer after layer arises in consciousness. The reflection of your consciousness is all you are ever going to encounter. It shouldn't make you feel alone, but so completely enveloped in the divine. Don't be afraid to remain present with each layer of consciousness. loving it till it melts away, however long it takes. And remain present. Carry your meditation out there with you into your life 24/7. Feeling your feelings that arise. Be present in your dedication to remain present with what arises. Relaxing into the process of living. No matter how powerful the emotion, it can melt away into gentleness in presence. Relaxing and knowing that you know, trusting in your learning. Becoming more and more deeply sensitive to the frequency. To reach out into what's in front of you and letting it pass. Having experienced it, the feeling passes. There's no need to attempt to feel more of it than what it's asking to. Surrender is not weakness but strength. Dancing with the flow doesn't require more energy than it provides. Cost and salary. There's an infinite abundance of the divine. Tune into your heart. Recognize there's work to be done. It's not idleness. We engage in the work that's before us. Wherever there's love, there's abundance and fullness. When we love unconditionally, we attract true unconditional love. Whenever there's fear or lack, we must dissolve it. Riding the wave of life is the essence of our eternal nature. Focus only here till you master the basics. It's like mastering the art of sewing. There'll be no quilt, just the materials, until the basic principles are mastered. It's not about learning, no longer about learning but doing. The joy is not in more learning of the basics but mastery of the basics as you move up a grade. It's in your nature to learn, your destiny to know and to master. Presence with your inner being. Every nuance is key. Yeah. Willingness to acknowledge and stay with these things. Subtle and gross things simultaneously dancing within. Big waves and little nuances to be negotiated. Staying with the feeling, you can get it right. You can develop confidence here and become strong at this skill like any other. If you're driven in this direction, you can't avoid developing potent skills and high mastery. Be gentle with yourself. Have compassion for yourself. Be forgiving with yourself. Go easy on yourself. These are important aspects of your skill set. You'll master this and you'll reach new horizons of mastery which will lay out before you. Climb as deep and as high as your delight. Trust in your own wings and the lightness of your own heart. Fly gently. Fly gently. You will soar. Trust that one day you will. Don't think that you were born to peck around the nest. Stay present with the feeling. The size of an obstacle is merely a judgment. The size is a construct. It's a comparison of ego. The divine is all that you are one with. For the divine size is immaterial. No matter how big the perceived size of the challenge, it's going to pass. Right now, this is the work. This is what the fundamentals of the mirror exercise lead to. A way of being within. It gives the strength to master a challenging life. The inner process always comes with storms and glorious days, and like the weather and seasons, perpetual movement and flux. It will shape you. Discipline is required here. Steadfast focus and presence, and you'll come to rise above this. Nothing outside will satisfy you. This is what it means to go within and allow yourself to be filled by it. It will dramatically improve the quality of your life when you learn to do it all the time. Surf the river of life. Cultivate your garden. Purify your consciousness. Return your awareness to within yourself and return to the process. There is no real out there. You'll become very aware of who you are. Stay there with your feelings. There's nothing to fear. The divine walks with you. That's enough. No matter how long it takes, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to prove anything. If you stay here, you'll find you're enough. This is enough. Be present with the divine and yourself all the time. Walk in meditation. Be present with how you feel and walk with the divine. Let go of what you think you need and let the divine give you what she knows that you need. Become aware of the places calling for your attention. Do you have a fear of connecting, or a fear that you have a one-way relationship with God? Please know that you are loved completely. 80 to 90% of traumas apparently come from family and upbringing. The other 10% might be falling over, getting bitten by a dog or something. There is a lot of family healing to be had. Don't judge yourself for it. That's the way. That's where the work is. Because you're healing, a lot of projections on God will come out, family projections. If you're consistent with the work and actively committed to it, you'll be highly capable. The divine will provide exactly what you need. It's a privilege to be alive on earth. Don't take it for granted. Security only comes from the divine first. You'll have know this, and you'll have a great time for a long time. Okay, everybody, I'm going to end this message here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a really good day. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.